Hi everybody, Jason Smith here. Thank you for joining me for this episode of The Truth About Social Ads. I'm an agency owner specializing in Facebook and Instagram ads, and I have dedicated my professional life to helping you learn what others won't tell you about Facebook ads. You know, I believe there's so much information that no one is sharing about Facebook ads and how you can fail and win running ads for your business and when it's time to hire an agency. That's why I'm here bringing ideas and information that can help you run successful Facebook and Instagram ads. Hey everybody, hope you're doing well. This is Jason and Eric coming at you with another episode of The Truth About Social Ads. Excited about today's episode. We're going to be talking about images versus videos with Facebook ads, an interesting topic that we deal with every single day, huh, Eric?
Yep, every single day. Do I need videos?
Do I need videos?
Yep.
Yes, you do need videos.
Yes, you do.
And don't record them on your iPhone and not have a mic and all that stuff.
Oh, it's funny. That's what we're going to talk about. Yeah. Sometimes that's good. Sometimes that's bad.
Right. Well, we're going to get into a lot of cool stuff in today's episode about images versus videos, mainly about videos, because there's a lot you can do wrong. There's a lot you can do right. Yeah, Eric's got a really cool background in video, and he's going to share some really cool stuff with us about videos. So, Eric, let's get into it, man.
Okay, cool. So let's talk about videos. So the first thing I want to point out, my background in video is I wanted to make beautiful videos, and I did that. And then what I learned is that sometimes that converts into selling things and sometimes it does not convert into selling things. I also did a lot of YouTube, and I figured out how to make videos so that they get views on YouTube, which really boils down to having an audience with the right thumbnail and the right search topic. There's a lot more than that, but those are the main things there. Now, getting into paid organic, and Jason really is my full mentor when it comes to paid social. I did a lot of organic and social media stuff before, and a lot of digital marketing before working with Jason in Spotlight, but really working with Jason has taught me what sells, and that's what we're going to talk about today. So the reason I said all that is because some things work great for certain platforms and they work terrible on other platforms. And so we're going to focus today on Facebook ads and what works and what doesn't. And then at the end, we're going to give you the rundown of exactly the makeup of a good selling Facebook video and what that looks like. So let's jump on in. And Jason, why don't we start with overkill? That's just an interesting topic to me. When is a video? When can there be too much video?
Yeah. Well, actually, can we actually start with the question that we said right at the beginning? Do I need a video?
Okay, cool. Yeah, let's start with that then.
We get asked that all the time. Like, do I need a video, guys? And we're like, yes, you need a video.
Yes, you need. Okay, cool. So let's start with that then. Let's talk about why you need a video. So, if you can get across what you want to get across in one single snapshot, that's great. That's possible. What would you say? Like 10, 20% of the time, like you just are able to communicate everything you want with one still image. Maybe it's more than that. Maybe it's less. But you can't. What would you say?
Yeah, it just depends on the offer, really. Like if it's an offer that they don't have to think about a lot, like for example, we work with people or clients in the pet industry.
Yeah.
Right. Some things in the pet industry, like, do you want a cleaner? Do you want a supplement for your pet to make them feel better? Stuff like that doesn't require a ton of thought, and the price point isn't $5,000. So it's like $20, right?
Yeah.
You could probably portray what you want in an image fairly well. Video would be awesome, but an image may work really well in that scenario.
Yeah.
You know?
And it also depends on So it may work well in that, but it also depends on how saturated your market is. So if you're,
Yeah.
in a very saturated market and people are seeing, 10 different products like yours a day, and yours is another image of that product, the makeup industry, anything,
Yeah.
lots of people are becoming really wealthy with e-commerce and building stores. But then when you get into a market where you have 15 competitors offering the same thing you do, but one of them is endorsed by the biggest celebrities in the world, a video might not cut it in your industry. So there's a lot of, we're going to talk about
Right.
factors in a minute,
Right.
but right now, just why you need a video. And I think in short, and we'll go into more detail, is you can't always accomplish everything that you want in an image. So I'm going to tell one story real quick. We had a client, great industry, hot industry, eco, and we did all the standard images, and the images had exactly almost all of the components that the video we did had. But we did a
Mm-hmm.
video, and that one video boosted that account to like 30 grand in 1 month from starting at $20 a day. And in 1 month, we were able to
Yep.
scale it all because of a video shoot that we did. And it was the video. So, not that
Yep.
a video is always the magic bullet, but sometimes it is. And
Yeah.
sometimes video has that extra push behind it.
Yep. Yeah. And video has something where, and you don't even have to be really good on camera. Like, man, I am horrible on camera, right? But video has a way of you either relating to your audience, building trust with your audience, like an image can't do,
Yeah.
And when it's what you said, Eric, like kind of like an eco-friendly product, like that, and you have a video explaining why, we need to be more eco-friendly these days and how it's better for the environment, stuff like that. That's a lot better than just having an image saying eco-friendly.
Yeah.
Right. So in that case, a video would be warranted more than an image because you're really trying to connect with the audience, build trust. There's a certain connection that you make on a video. I mean, dude, like how many videos do people watch a day on Facebook and Instagram?
Yeah.
Millions and millions and millions of videos.
Yeah.
And they watch a video, they'll scroll right through a still image, but they'll watch a video for 5 minutes, sometimes no matter how dumb it is.
And when you say 5 minutes, that again, to the audience, that depends on where they're watching. They will do that on YouTube.
Yeah.
A lot of times do it on YouTube. They'll for sure
Yep.
do on Netflix if they're
Yeah.
streaming something. But when
Yep.
it comes to an ad, we'll get to it later, but you really have 1 second. You have 1 second to pull the audience in on Instagram and Facebook, because it's a matter of you swiping your finger up and going, not
Yep.
interested. You have 1 second.
Right. Yep. Yeah, we'll get into a little more details on watch times and why all that's
Yeah.
important and all that kind of stuff.
So let's talk about numbers real quick. So the key number that we look at for video is click-through rate. And an image and click-through rate essentially is what percentage of 100 people, what percentage click on that video. On Facebook, a healthy click-through rate is 1%. We've seen as high as 10%, 8 to 10%, but that's like very, very extraordinary. You're usually going to be a good click-through rate will be 1 to 2%, 1 to 3%, let's say. So that's all.
And let me just talk really quick why with videos too, because normally you're thinking, oh, if it's an image, then you're going to look at the click-through rate, a CTR, right?
Mhm.
Well, the thing is, and we'll talk about this in a minute, but the watch times are so short on Facebook now, you can't really rely, because Facebook has a couple different numbers or metrics for how they measure what you watch. They have 100%, they have 75%, they have 50%, and they have 25% and 10% video watches. So like, it's funny because with videos on Facebook and Instagram, people are making a decision within a couple seconds whether they want to click through or swipe up. And so in my mind, the CTR, click-through rate, is a more accurate outlook at the video and what they're doing to take action, not just watch it. Because I could care less if they watch 100% of my video. I want them to take action.
Yeah.
And that's why we look at the CTR.
Yeah. And funny enough, the client I was talking about earlier, within the first, it was like the click was happening in like the first 3 seconds of the video, but that first shot in the video stood out and spoke directly to
Yeah.
the people that we were targeting and went, oh my gosh, I want that one. Like, I want it now. And they didn't want to watch the rest. They just clicked because they wanted it and then they bought it.
Right.
Which we wish everybody could have that level of success. But, average, you're going to have 1 to 3% click-through rate is a good one. And the way I kind of think about it is a video is like you get the first impression. That's like your image. But then you get usually 5 more seconds because, your average watch time is about 5 to 6 seconds. And that's going to come into play at the end when we talk about the makeup of a video. But you have that first impression, but then you have 5 more seconds as they're scrolling through Instagram or Facebook to look and then watch for 5 seconds and then make a decision. Whereas if it's just an image, they're going to look, make a decision, and move on. So that's really where the power of video comes in. So click-through rate and watch time and video views. Those are kind of the metrics that you want to look for. Any other you want to point out? I think those are the primary ones, Jason. As far as metrics.
No, that's it. You can also and you can also look at how long they watched your video with the sound on and off. So normally they watch it with the sound off. They're probably at work or we're walking around or whatever. That's why, just a helpful hint, it's like you have to make sure you have captions on your videos. We've done extensive testing on this too. And what's amazing is when you don't have captions, your click-through rate declines tremendously because people read the first second or two of the video. And like Eric said, average watch time on Facebook right now is about 6 seconds. So when clients come to us and they're like, oh, hey, I made this awesome 2-minute video. I'm like, oh, great. That's not, we'll put it up, but I can guarantee you they're not even watching 30 seconds of that video.
Yeah.
Average watch time. And again, this is an average. There's going to be people that watch the video to the end. There's going to be people who watch 50% of it. There's going to be people who watch 10% of it. But what we look at is the average watch time because we want to know. Because we're telling clients we need a 15-second to 30-second video, no more than 30 seconds. And it's because it's like wasted space and wasted air if you do more than a 30-second video on Facebook. And clients will be surprised, and people in general will be surprised how much you can get in 15 to 30 seconds in a video. Actually pretty long.
Yep.
Yeah.
And again, to kind of contrast on YouTube, and I guess we should point out what device people are watching on and what platform is also important. So on Instagram, if you're watching a video, many people will scroll through Instagram while they're in an area where they have their audio off. And so that's why the SRTs, or the captions, I should call them. That's the SRT is the file type when you download captions from rev.com. And anybody who hasn't used rev.com, it's $1 per minute. You can expedite it and it doubles the cost. So if it's a 2-minute video, it's $2. If it's expedited, it's $4. So it's $1 per minute. But it depends what platform you're watching and what device. If you're watching it on Facebook on desktop, you might get a little longer of a watch. If you're watching it on Instagram, chances are half the time sound's going to be off and you're really going to need those captions. So take into consideration, is your audience older and are they all on Facebook? That's going to influence how you create your video. So keep that in mind. Anything else there before we jump into the part I wanted to talk about first, overkill?
Overkill is an important one. No, I think we've pretty much covered everything. Video is super important. If you have an agency running your stuff, or if you're running your own ads, step out of your comfort zone and record a damn video, please.
Yeah.
Yep.
And really the reason that Jason says that is it can turn your account around. It can take you to on the line of a 2 return on ad spend to a 4, where your profit margin just that wouldn't be doubles, but where your profit margin increases substantially. You're making more money. So video definitely can have a good impact. And there's two types of video. We'll talk about right now. One type of video is a TikTok style video, a reel style video. Another is a high production quality video. We'll get into that. But one thing I want to touch on real quick is overkill. So we want to test, and on average, we want a really well shot video or mixed downs of those videos. For us, it's healthy to do that maybe once a month. Maybe I would say once or twice a month, at least once every 3 months. We have some accounts that they just have one video that just performs and performs and performs, and they can go years, but we still want to be adding in fresh content. What would you say on that, Jason? How often should people introduce video content, and how long can they run with video content?
Man, that's a question that everybody wants to know. And it's really, there's no answer for it because when we onboard clients and we bring them on, and if they have 4 or 5 videos, one of those videos could last months and months and months, and the other ones maybe not. And there's also, we've also had times where we've had 10 videos and none of them do well.
Yeah.
And so you don't really know. What you have to look at is all the numbers. Like, you got to look at if people are clicking through, if they're reacting correctly to the ad, if they're engaging with the ad comments, depending on, like, the comments will tell you everything. Like, people will be like, "Oh, this sucks," or "Oh, this is awesome," or whatever. But really, what the ultimate goal that you want to achieve is for people to take action after the fact, after you've recorded your video and all that good stuff. So it really just depends. I mean, there's no set time frame. We have an account right now that one of the same videos has been running for a long time, and our clients like, "Hey, why are we still running the same video?" I'm like, "Because it does awesome still. That's why."
Working still.
Still works. And it's like, I don't care if you guys don't like that video. It's working and you're getting a 10x return off of that video. Like, why do you want to stop it? So it all depends on the numbers and how things go, really. So to answer the question very simply, there is no time frame that anybody, and if they tell you a time frame, they're blowing smoke up your skirt for sure.
One thing that we do always say, though, is a video may or may not change things. A lot of people are like, "Oh, I'm going to do a video and it's going to change everything." You have to keep in mind that on Facebook and Instagram, it's clickbait. You want to avoid clickbait style things. And when I say that, you may be able to bring up your click-through rate, but everything ties in. Your landing page, if you're doing leads, your Shopify store, if you're doing e-commerce, it ties in. Once they click, then they still have to have a good experience. You can create images and videos that will get people to click based on how you target. It might not solve your problem, though. So keep in mind, it may not be just the videos the answer. It's probably also something after the click. And we try to look at the whole process, not just the click or, different parts of the process. We try to look at the whole process, or we do look at the whole process.
Yeah, and that's where it gets a little convoluted sometimes, because what happens is if click-through rates are really high and we know the engagement is good and we know the audience is a right fit for the client, and we're sending traffic and they're getting tons of clicks and stuff, and they're not taking action, that means it's probably a website issue at that point. So your video could be the best video in the world. If you don't have a good sales funnel, or you don't have a good product, or nobody wants to buy it, doesn't matter. So anyways.
So now let's talk about contributing factors on video. So number one, trust. You're able to, and this is the one Jason said, or one of the ones Jason said, is you're able to get more trust when people watch a video. They're able to get a better feel for your product and your brand. You're able to show social proof, testimonials. You're able to show it in use. You're able to feature a model. You're able to portray passion, feeling, emotion, which it's very hard to capture all of those in one image. So that's why videos are so powerful. And really what that boils down to is trust. You're able to get people's trust. Anything else to add there, Jason?
I'll go to that's awesome.
Okay, cool. I'll go to niche next. If you have a niche, and I'm going to kind of combine this with celebrity, and I don't just mean celebrity as A-list celebrities. I mean celebrity as, someone there's podcasts out there about astrology and architecture and everything. And you could have a local celebrity or an industry celebrity that, you can target people, and then that celebrity you can pull in, and people love to hear those people talk. They might not want to hear everyone talk, but they might want
Yeah.
to really listen to that person talking. And so having someone that has celebrity within a niche, or an actual, A-list celebrity that has major pull, and you're able to start and then move over to video. How much needs to
Yep.
be explained? That's one that we run into with a lot of doctors, is they do regenerative medicine. And, one of the departments that we have is medical. Nowadays people generally understand what regenerative medicine is. Some people may be listening thinking, what is that? But it's stem cell injections. And you need to explain to people what that is. And you can't fully do that with just an image. We have our doctors or their staff record videos that say, we have new protocols. This is what we do. We stop pain. We're not going to do surgery. This is what we do. And they do that in 5 seconds. That's
Yep.
another factor. Another thing to add in is the offer. That is absolutely key, is having a good offer. It doesn't matter how good your video is. If you don't have a good offer, you can get people to click, or you can create the best video in the world, and you're just not going to get the sale because you don't have the right offer in your video. And then last thing I want to talk about is makeup, the makeup of the video. There's good production quality, high production quality. And then there's what's hot right now, which is TikTok or Instagram Reels style quality. And I'll be honest, there's a few accounts we've really got to spike because of those TikTok style videos. We have a team of filmers that can go out and shoot with the red and make these movie looking videos, which the right time, the right place, that's a great strategy. But at the same time, like a lot of the younger audience right now, they look at, real style videos, and that's what they resonate with. So know your audience and build your video around that audience. It's really important to know what people want to see and what are they looking at every day, and then build your video around that. For some people, that's a huge relief. You mean I don't have to hire, a big film crew, and I can just have like user generated content? And we tell them yes, and they're, really stoked. And then not only that, it performs well in the right industries and niches right now.
Yep, for sure.
And then last one I'll say is, how well thought out is the video? And we'll get to the makeup in a second here, or in a minute here, but have you thought through, what do they need to see in that first second? What do they need to see in the first 5 seconds? What environment is it shot in? Is it dark? Is it light? Who are the actors? What are they doing? Just everything about the video as well. So those are the contributing factors. Anything to add there, Jason?
No. How about you talk really quickly about like sound quality? Like, do you need a little lapel mic or a Bluetooth lapel mic or something like that? Like echoes and things.
Yep.
The lapel mic will probably get rid of a lot of the echoes, and there's nothing worse than having a really cool video and then you just sound like all echoey and crappy.
Yeah. And the one thing I would say, there's really 2 factors there. I mean, there's obviously a lot of factors, but there's 2 really, really big factors when you're going for a high quality video. And the first one is your sound. Your sound can make or break a video. If you're holding it on an iPhone and, someone's standing 6 feet away, it's going to sound like either you're in an echo chamber or you're far away. Yeah. So having a lapel mic, you can get a wired one for your iPhone. If you're shooting on iPhone, the hard part, and I will talk about this, is that a lot of the wireless mic systems, they don't work. And I actually used to work with an AV company. And what they told me was that what happened is, with the wireless mics and lapel in that industry, the government or the armed forces got the good radio frequencies. And so the ones that cost like $100, they don't work, and you'll get static, you'll get feedback. The ones that work well, Sennheiser is a good one, and they're $600 for one mic. So they're expensive.
Wow. Yeah.
And that's why when people, they want to shoot with an iPhone, I just say, get a lot, like a, 15-foot wired one, plug it in, you'll get awesome sound. You don't have to spend $600 on a Sennheiser, like, really good wireless one that has the right frequency. So we should put that in the show notes for anybody listening. I'll find a really good wired one, and then also a really good, or I'll put the Sennheiser ones. So
Yeah.
the second part is your lighting. And if you're shooting yourself, I'm going to give people the most basic instruction for video. If you're shooting it with an iPhone, is have the natural daylight behind the camera illuminating the subject, and stand about 6 feet away from the subject. That's the best one piece of advice I could give anybody that's shooting their own videos on camera, is have the natural daylight behind the camera illuminating the subject. And those two things can really make the difference of having a well shot video and then having a video that's cringe or hard to watch.
Yep. Cool. That's awesome. Yeah, Eric knows a ton about video. He's the man when it comes to that. So,
and we have some really good filmers. We've made some pretty awesome videos for our clients that we see them and we're just like, yes.
Yeah, they are awesome.
Yeah, they really do help.
Yeah.
Okay, now let's talk. Before I go into video makeup, like what specs and everything like that, Jason, anything else you want to cover as far as numbers, contributing factors, anything like that before we go into like the nitty gritty specifics?
No. And you can also create custom audiences from video views. I haven't found them to be super, super successful, but they do work, a little bit. So you can do that as well on Facebook. But that's it, man. For me, I'm not a video guy. Eric is. So this is his is his topic. So I'll let you continue here.
So the last part I want to talk about is essentially the makeup of your video. So there's on Facebook, currently best practice is use all placements. That's what we do. And that includes, Facebook, Instagram, Messenger, Marketplace. There's, and I hate saying a number because if I say 17, next week it might be 18. So there's, let's just say 17 different placements. And what I like to do personally is I like the videos to be 1,000 by 1,000 on Facebook. The reason that I like that is because on Instagram, it's going to take up the most space on your screen in the feed. It's also going to adapt well on Reels and Stories because you're going to have a 1,000 by 1,000 in the middle, and then you're going to have text and caption above and below. So it works really well for Reels. Instead of dividing up all the placements, like if you divided up every placement on Facebook, it would be a nightmare, which is why they built the system like that.
Yep, exactly.
And then, so you have 1 second. In the first second of the video, you need to put the most important thing that you want people to see. This is the product in use. Like that's what you want in the first second. And then you have 5 seconds to get the click. Now, depending on your niche, depending on the celebrity or the product or whatever's in the video, you may get more view time. But as a rule of thumb, based on the numbers and, experience, is you want the first second to pull, and then the first 5 seconds you have to explain whatever it is you want to explain. So average watch time is 6 seconds, 1,000 by 1,000, and then make sure that you have captions on. And if you're going for high production quality, make it high production quality. My personal preference, I kind of don't like in between, because in between, to me, it says, not a full production. It's like kind of like a half measure. Whereas if you just do TikTok, Instagram, Reel style videos, people are used to that and they like it and they don't expect high production quality. So my preference is always to either, if your audience wants to see it, boom, film it, do the, like have it done full production, pay whatever you pay between $5 and $30,000 for an awesome video. Or if it's user generated content, your product in use, shoot it Instagram reel style, put that in an ad. And again, we've seen that turn accounts, not turn, but we've seen spikes from putting in those user generated content, those UGC style videos. Those are the key points that I would recommend for video makeup for Facebook and Instagram ads.
Yep, exactly. And I think the last thing, we want to keep today's episode pretty short. The last thing I want to touch on really quickly is, we have obviously Eric's a great video guy. We have, guys who can film videos, and we also have a graphic designer that it kills video edits. Like the dude's super awesome. And we have a graphic designer on staff. So, you really gotta, if you're an agency owner, and you want to start offering those type of services, you really have to be careful because clients will abuse that 100%. We have clients that are like every single day, hey guys, I want this edited. I want this, I want that. Like literally give us 10 things in one day, every single day. And the next thing you know, we have a Google sheet of 50 items that we haven't even come close to testing half of them because there's just so much stuff. And you gotta really put that in perspective and really watch what you're doing. And then there comes the other side of like, okay, so at what point do I start charging this client extra for taking advantage of the fact that we can edit videos and create images from scratch and all that stuff? So just watch out for that. I mean, clients will abuse that, and again, this is what the podcast is about, to kind of keep it real with everybody. So clients will abuse that, and they'll try to take as much as they possibly can because they know that they either can't produce it, they don't want to pay to produce it, but there also comes a point where it can be excessive. And, one thing I learned from Eric was when we edit a video, the client can't come back 20 times. And, well, oh, you know what? Actually, a week later, you know what? Hey, I saw it in the news feed and I actually want to do this now. Now we say, okay, you get what, Eric, 2 to 3 edits and that's it.
Primarily, right? 2 revision rounds.
Yeah, because if you just leave that open, then clients will be like, oh, hey, I don't like this now. Oh, well, the lighting's this. And I mean, trust me, we've been through it and we've learned from it. And that's why Eric's got to rein me in when it comes to video stuff, because I just don't know enough about it. And it's time consuming. I mean, it's time consuming to go through edits and do all that stuff. Most people don't realize what it takes to put together an awesome video, and it's hard.
Yeah.
Right, Eric?
And then there's certain things like they might both seem like very easy things, and one might take 30 seconds and the other might take 8 hours, like literally. So you got to give them 2 revision rounds, all the revisions submitted at once. And then, you take it, and as the video experts or the advertising experts, we're then going to weigh out like, these are good. And it's another thing I'll point out, and with what to add to what Jason said, is sometimes say no. Like, we're not going to put that in the beginning of the video because that's not going to work. And one strategy I've found is that if the client really wants something at the beginning of the video and you don't, do both and test them.
Yeah.
And
right.
I like, hey, I hope I'm wrong. I hope that, that way works better than my way. But typically, like that first second, I know what we need to feature based off the product, but just do both. If they really, want to do something, just do both, test them both, but get all those revisions in at once so you can do both mix downs at the same time.
Yep. And I would say don't be tied too much emotionally to, if you have 5 videos and you really like one of them, don't be surprised when we test it and it just totally flops, because it's always the video. That's why I usually take emotion out of the videos, especially when we test videos and images, right? Both. Because I kind of get a little crushed and I'm like, dang, man, like I thought that video was going to do good. And it turns out it was the one that I thought wasn't going to do good. So you never know. Strip all the emotion out of it and just test them, and that's the only way you're going to figure out who the winner is or which one the winner is.
Yep.
And which one isn't. So
100%.
Awesome. All right, cool. Well, Eric, you want to cover anything else, or should we wrap up here?
I think that's it. We just wanted to go over the makeup of a good quality ad video and images versus videos. So that's it. Let's end it there, and we'll catch you guys on the next episode.
All right. See you guys later. Thanks a lot for listening. Bye. Hey, thanks so much for listening to The Truth About Social Ads. I really hope you enjoyed the episode. Please visit our website at truthaboutsocialads.com for show notes and additional episodes. And if you have time, please subscribe to the podcast and please consider rating and reviewing the show if you enjoyed it. That will help other people find us. By the way, I would love to hear from you. Please send me an email at jason@spotlightsocialllc.com with your feedback, questions, or a topic you'd like me to talk about on the show. If you send me a question, maybe I'll read it on the show. See you later. Bye.